Hello, everyone. It's me, Angelo Martin, and welcome to another quick cast. In this episode, we'll be continuing on where we left off in our previous episode with the new features on the macOS Sequoia. Now, as mentioned in our previous episode, the new features that we are talking about is not the ones that are commonly known, but the ones that are deemed as your hidden features, as well as the ones that enhance the features that are commonly known. But the focus is also going to be on the Apple Intelligence and how we here down in South Africa can use it earlier than when it's going to come out to us during the month of December. So, guys, I'm going to readjust our settings and we can start using the other Apple Intelligence features like our writing tools and so on. So, a lot of ground that we need to cover, and let's not waste any more time and let's get started. So, as mentioned in our previous episode, that the major new feature when it comes to macOS Sequoia is, of course, the Apple Intelligence. Now, there's a couple of things that we need to do as well as know before we can start utilizing the Apple Intelligence. First of all, Apple Intelligence will only work on a Mac computer with a Apple Silicon processor. So whether you've got an Apple M1, M2, M3 processor, then you will be eligible to be able to use the Apple Intelligence. Another thing is that you must be on the macOS Sequoia version 15.1. So if you're not on 15.1 as yet, I do recommend to do the software update or upgrade to the macOS Sequoia. Now, after you've done the upgrade, you will see a new setting has been added on, which is the Apple Intelligence and Siri. In fact, they separated Spotlight and Siri and put Spotlight separate. Now, if you go to the Apple Intelligence and Siri settings, now as you can see, mine is all set up. Now, if you're outside of the US, you can take advantage of the Apple Intelligence. As you can see, it's still on the beta release by making a few changes to be able to use the Apple Intelligence. First of all, you will need to go to your general setting, go to language and region, and under your language, you need to make your preferred language English US. Now you can see this is my only option that I have there. But say, for instance, you had your own language set up there, then you can simply just click on the plus. And I'm going to use my English South Africa as the example this time. So I'm going to select that and tap on add. Now it will come up and state that if I want to make my English South Africa my primary language, I don't want to do that. But if I had to do that, it would ask me to restart the computer. Now, I've already set my English US as my primary, so I'll just select it again. And you can see now a second English language, English South Africa has been added on, but my English US is at the top. If you've made a mistake, you can simply just take the English US and drag it to the top until the line is at the top. As soon as you release, it will ask you to restart your computer for that setting to take effect. You do not need to change your region. Now, after you've made that setting change, you go back to Apple Intelligence and you can switch on your Siri setting, then change your language here to also English United States. After you've set that, the Join Apple Intelligence waitlist will come up. You tick it on. It might take a few minutes to a couple of hours. That setting will be turned on and you're good to go. So seeing that we are busy with the Apple Intelligence and Siri settings, let's take a deeper dive into the enhancements of Siri. As Siri has now been enhanced to the point where it's becoming an intelligent assistant. Now, first of all, if I want to start Siri, I can just say, "Hey Siri," or just use the word Siri now, or I can just change it back to the way it was with "Hey Siri" only, or turn it off. And you would notice that I can also change my shortcut keys right here, or even add a custom shortcut key if I wanted to. Be careful when it comes down to assigning a shortcut key. Make sure that it is not a shortcut key that you're already using. So I would then go back and I'll just either use Command key twice as my shortcut key. Now, if I should hit my Command key twice, you will see there my Siri opens. It looks way more different than it was on my previous macOS versions. On top of that, you can see you can type directly into Siri. If you want to speak something forth, then you can just hit the microphone. And also, I can now click and drag the Siri window or Siri text box at any part of my screen. And as soon as I drag and drop it, you will see that there it comes up with a close button. I can just close it down. Let's open Siri again. And what's so cool about the new Siri is that it's got auto suggestions as well. So if I should type in, let me go with numbers, you will see that it will automatically suggest if I want to open the numbers app. Also, if I type in, let's say, tell, and it will now give me the suggestion, tell a story, tell a joke, tell a dad joke as well. What makes the enhancement of Siri also better is the fact that it gives me the answers directly from Siri without referring me to the web browser. Now, not with all queries and commands that you type into Siri, it will do this, but it will be more and more improved even with the next update of macOS Sequoia. So let me just show you a good example of how it does this. And it sounds more natural to speak to this new intelligent assistant. I can change my mind mid-sentence and it will still accept what I've mentioned. Let me demonstrate. What is the name? Oh, wait. What is the height of Table Mountain?
Table Mountain is 1,085 meters above sea level.
So that is pretty cool. And you heard the response sounds way more natural. But I can even push it a bit further. Are there any restaurants on Table Mountain?
Which one?
And there we go. And it even expands it even further. The other new feature that's been added on is, of course, built into our focus mode with a new focus mode called Reduce Interruptions. Now, this uses the Apple Intelligence and will push time-sensitive notifications while blocking unimportant or irrelevant notifications as well. So if I should go to my focus settings, I could also do it by going to the focus setting and my settings, and I go to reduce interruption to see what it looks like on the inside. And you can see there it is the intelligence feature that's built into it. But you can also go ahead and add in your additional setup with the reduce interruptions as well. So pretty useful that you have that feature also built in now as well. Now with the new Apple Intelligence with the macOS Sequoia also saves you a lot of time by giving you short summaries of long extended previews within your notifications. And as you can see, I've got a couple of email notifications going on here. That gives me a bit of an extended preview. Now you can even shorten this by making these quick summaries with a built-in summary setting that's been added in with the upgrade with the macOS Sequoia. So if I should go to my system settings, and within my system settings, I go to my notification setting, you will see that here I've got the new setting added on, Summarized Previews. You can see I've turned mine off. Now by default, if you have upgraded or have switched on your Apple Intelligence setting, it will be switched on. But on top of that, you can also disable or re-enable the ones that you do want to have the summaries displayed. And you can see my mail summary is turned on, my summaries are turned on, and if I go back to my notification, it gives me a much shorter summary of my notifications of my emails. Now, summary feature doesn't stop with our notifications. If we go to our mail app, and we go to any of our emails, especially the long extended ones, we can just scroll down within that email and you'll see that at the top, a summarize button will appear. If I click on that summarize button, it will create a very short summary of the email. Now, when it comes to our mail app, more features has also been added. Now you'll notice that in your mail, after upgrading and installing the Apple Intelligence, you would see that there's a priority section added to your mail as well. So emails that you have responded to and you will receive the reply back, emails that comes in from email address that is from your work, or even emails that is coming through from your VIPs will go into your priority section within mail. And if you're within an email and you want to reply, So say, for instance, I take this email and I want to do a reply. Then after a while, it will give me a smart reply option. So say, for instance, I click on I'll write, and then it will give me a full extension of what the I'll write smart reply will be. And I can always revert back by just clicking on the revert button. But I like the reply option, so I'll just click on done. Now, the major new feature when it comes to Apple Intelligence is the writing tools. And what makes the writing tool so awesome is the fact that you can actually apply it to most apps where you're writing text, especially the major ones. Now, to quickly demonstrate it, if I go into my mail, let me just go into any of my mail folders and let me take this email over here. I'm just going to send it again. And let's say I want to take a certain part of my text. I'm just going to highlight this piece over here, and I can then go to my writing tools button on my toolbar, and here it will give me these different options. I can go to proofread. Now, what proofread will do is it will scan through the text and fix all the errors on it. So if I click on proofread, and there you can see there it now put commas in, and whatever spelling mistakes I made, it would have fixed those ones. And here it will actually show you the changes that it made. So if I click on the arrow, it will then take me through each and every change and explain to me what the change was. I'm just going to click on revert. Now, the other writing tools features, let me just highlight that text again. And if I go to writing tools, and here I can now choose to write this email in a friendly, professional, concise, etc. Let me start with the professional. If I click on professional, it will then scan through the email, and it will then give me a professional layout as well as rewritten it in a more professional way. And you can also then revert it back as previously mentioned. I'm just gonna revert it this time. And if I have highlighted a piece of text as well, then you'll see that the Apple Intelligence logo will also pop up on the side. If I click on it, then I can then choose any of those options. You can also do a secondary click on the text and go to writing tools. And here you can choose those same options that appeared when we chose it on the toolbar. This time around, I'm going to go into making it more concise. If I click on more concise, it will just make it into a shorter email, but still maintain the content of the email. The difference between that and a summary is if I should now just revert back and say this time around choose the summarize option, then it will not put it or replace the email, but it will make it into a separate summary of that mail. So the summarize option can also be applied when you are writing an email, and you can just copy or replace the text written originally. Now, what makes the Friendly part genius when it comes to the writing tools is that it helps people with email etiquette problems, or even if you're just writing an email and you are at the time very angry, like I've done with this email over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to just send again and highlight the text that I've written, and you can see by the content of the email I wrote it without being rational, and I've just typed it in what came to mind and so on. So I can take this text, again go to my writing tools, and this time around I'm going to switch to friendly. So if you now get an error when you're doing your writing tools, you can just ignore it for now. Remember, this is still in beta version. So if you do get an error, it doesn't mean that it will not do the Apple Intelligence on your text. So with this, you can just click on continue, and you can see that it's now rewritten it and put it in more in an approachable and a rational fashion than it was before. And I kind of like the way it's been done. And I can just click on done there and go ahead and just type in the email address and send. So as mentioned, also another thing about the writing tools is the fact that you can also apply on some third-party applications. So say for instance, if I now go into my Microsoft Word and let me take this document that I've been working on and say I want to rewrite the text in there, I can highlight it, do a secondary click, and you'll see that the writing tools also apply there. And I can just say make professional, and you can see it's rewritten it. However, because it's a third-party application, it will not immediately apply the text, but you can just say replace, and it's now replaced all the text that was written originally. So whether you're doing complex work like writing a book or just writing a simple report, your writing tools is closely at hand and at your fingertips to make any document go from professional rewriting or even just proofreading what you have written before. iPhone mirroring was available since the release of macOS Sequoia, but with the release of Apple Intelligence, you are now able to drag and drop content between your Mac and your iPhone. Now, before we get to this feature, let me quickly give you guys a nice tip. So first of all, I prefer to use the shortcut keys when I navigate with using iPhone mirroring. So you can see this, holding down the command key and pressing 1 will take you to the home screen. Holding down the command key and press 2 will take you to the app switcher, and holding down the command key and press 3 will take you to the spotlight search on your iPhone while using iPhone mirroring. Also, you can use the other shortcut keys to make your icon smaller or larger, or just take it back to the actual size. Another cool tip is that you can switch the automatic authentication on. So when you go to your iPhone mirroring settings, and here you can switch the automatic authenticate on. So this will access your iPhone with the Mac whenever your Mac is unlocked. Or alternatively, you can go to the ask every time to put in the user password or touch ID on the iPhone when you want to connect to iPhone mirroring. I prefer the second setting, much quicker. With that said, let's switch back to our home screen and let me start the demonstration by using a photo. And I'm going to actually just go to this album over here, and I'm going to take that photo and just drag it straight onto my desktop. And I can also do it the opposite way by dragging any file to my iPhone from my Mac. So this time around, I'm going to go back to my home screen and I'm going to go to my Files app. I'll just go to my Finder here and just take any file from my Downloads folder. I'll take this one and I'll just drag it into that folder over there. And now when I go to that folder, you will see there's the file that I'll just drag across. Now, seeing that I'm busy with the iPhone mirroring, let me show you guys another cool tip you can use with the iPhone as well. I'm going to combine it with the Mac with using iPhone mirroring. You can call it basically I'm killing two birds with a brick. I'm just going to go back to my home screen. You can do call recording as well after you've upgraded your iOS on your phone to 18.1. Now, this feature is only available to the US at the moment, but you can take advantage of this by just tweaking your settings a bit. So say, for instance, you're going to go to your settings, make sure that you must be upgraded to version 18.1. Now, first of all, after you've upgraded, you can go to your general setting, go to your language and region, and you simply just change your region to United States. Now, keep in mind, after you change your region, it's going to ask you to restart your phone. After restart, if you now go back to your settings and you go to the apps and you scroll all the way down to the phone setting, and you should see the call recording setting being available now, and you can see mine is switched on. Now, what this means is when somebody calls you, then you will have another button that displays in the top left-hand side, and when you tap on that button, it looks like a waveform. It will say to your recipient that this call is recorded. Now, after you finish with the recording will be then saved to your Notes app, I'm just going to access it straight on my Mac, and it will actually make a category, have it under call recordings. Now at the top, you can see that I have a call recording already. And when I click on that recording, it will give me the transcript. Or you can just hide the transcript and you see the waveform by clicking on the quotes button, and then it will give you a waveform. I just click on it again because I would like to see the transcript. You can just hear your recording by just clicking on any point. No, you just switch the language. You didn't switch. So then it will start playing, and you can also click on the ellipses and add the transcript to the note, which gives you the option now to start editing it and so on. But with the Apple Intelligence, you will have the summary button available where you can just click on it and it will give you a quick summary of the entire transcript. But it doesn't stop there. You can do the same with a voicemail as well. So I'm just going to minimize my notes and I'm going to go back into my phone app. And this time around, I'm going to go to my voicemail and I'll just use this voicemail. So under the voicemail, if I click on the voicemail, it will give me the transcript and the recording as well. I can do the same thing by just going to my share button. And under my share button, I can now go to my notes and I'll save it just in my general notes and create new note and save. Now, after saving it, I can go back to my notes and give it a couple of seconds. Then it will pop up and there's my voicemail. And there I can see there's my recording. If I double click on it, it will give me the waveform. I can just play it through like that. Or alternatively, I can just tap on the ellipses, which will give me my transcript. And I can do the same thing, go to the ellipses, add it to the note to edit it further. And also I can tap on the summary button, which will then summarize that transcript for me as well. So guys, I know this is a longer video than usual, but there's still one more Apple Intelligence feature I need to show you. That is the auto punctuate while using the dictation feature. So first of all, if we go to our system settings and we go to our keyboard settings under our dictation section, you can see my dictation is turned on. And at the same time, what's new to macOS 15.1 with the Apple Intelligence is the fact that we can now add in two languages. Always keep in mind to keep one of your languages, English United States, as under the auto punctuation settings, it will only work on English US, and you can see mine is turned on. And my shortcut key is set to press twice on Control key, but you can change it to any of the keys that you have within your menu. So now after I've now set my settings, I can quickly demonstrate it. I'll just do it in a quick note. And if I hit my shortcut key, you would see that it gives me the option to switch to either or one of the languages that is in my settings. I'll keep it on US. Next line. So as you guys can see, it did the auto punctuate and I didn't need to state it in my dictation when I said to move to the next line, next paragraph. So we were talking about the Apple Intelligence features like summaries, writing tools, and iPhone mirroring. Next line. How much will a Mac M3 cost? So guys, another automated feature built in with your Apple Intelligence. So guys, that is it for this episode. So please like and subscribe and also show others that are using not only a Mac with the Apple Silicon, but also if they are using an iPad with the Apple Silicon, an iPhone 15 Pro, or even any iPhone 16 model, so that they can also take advantage of the new Apple Intelligence features. And that's me, Angela Martin. Stay safe out there and goodbye.